Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, at optimistic.tv, we have officially begun releasing the first few episodes of our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary art, soul share interviews, retreat guests here at the Mystic Manor, as well as live musical performances. I'm also super excited to announce that we are currently making plans to release the rest of Season 1 on my personal favorite online streaming service. So stay tuned to optimistic.tv to follow the unfolding development of this exciting Optimistic expansion, as we'll be posting more info and release dates there soon. And in the meantime, be sure to check out, of course, the first few episodes at optimistic.tv as well.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, for me, is Thursday. I don't know when you're listening, but Thursdays for me are QHHT session days. And sometimes I pre-record, and sometimes I record after I do a session. And that's what I'm doing today. And what's interesting is after spending 6 hours in like 100% focus and attention with this person that I'm doing a session with, many people ask me, are you exhausted? Do you just need to nap after that? Like, how do you feel? And I always say, absolutely not. I'm never tired. I'm always actually bouncing off the walls. I've just spent the last at least an hour and a half of my day in communication with a higher self collective. And the energy that is present with that is pretty intense. And it just lights me up. And so I'm kind of bouncing off the walls on Thursday afternoons. And so I think it's kind of a fun time to record. You would think, wow, that's like a lot into the day doing all these things. Well, I think that sometimes, but it's really not when I'm so elated and full of energy. And it's really the best time to connect with you all and share some of the things that I've been learning and listening to, because really all I do for the most part is listen. And I get to learn a lot. And what's very interesting lately is there are always themes that come through in QHHT sessions with your clients. And so, maybe sometimes things come in threes, and sometimes it's just a theme that's present throughout multiple clients over the last month or two. And so today I thought it would be really fun if I would share some of the overall themes and the suggestions from the higher self over the last couple months, because it's all been congruent. All these different people that I've seen over the last couple months, all saying very, very similar things. And well, for me, it's obvious. Our higher self is a collective, is a group consciousness, is a group consciousness that is connected. Every individual soul present within that group consciousness is aware of what the other people are aware of. It's more of a group mind. Everyone knows what the other person knows. And so when you're talking to the higher self, Dolores always calls them they because it is the group. And when I'm speaking to different people's higher selves, there's also a very big recognition of this is all one group existing on a higher dimensional level that may seem like different groups and may come through differently through different consciousnesses, but are all really one group of one family is a better way to look at it, of brothers and sisters. And that's all of us here. All of us here, a connected family of brothers and sisters. And during this time on Earth right now, where we are going through such significant and transformative change, it is so important that we remember how connected we are, and that we are a family, and that we are brothers and sisters. And one of the biggest things that has been coming through in QHHT sessions lately is our connection with nature. Because through our connection with nature, we understand our connection with all of our other selves here. Because each and every quote unquote other person, other self, is just another version of you. And those people who come into your awareness are showing you little bits of yourself for your awareness, for your growth, and for your learning. It's such a beautiful system that we're working within. It's a hologram. The macrocosm is within the microcosm. And when we connect to nature, we can see it. We understand it. We can feel it. This is like one of the best ways to remember who we are. When we connect with our roots, when we get grounded into the earth, when we remember our mother and all that she is providing for us. And this truly is a remembering. You know this already. There is an aspect of you, a part of you, a higher dimensional part of you that already knows this. And it's just about integrating it into this reality. So much of what the higher self has been showing people lately is a remembrance of their power. Remembering who they are and also showing them how powerful they are. Because by remembering who you are, you recognize your power. When you realize that you're connected with everything and that within that is infinite potential, there is the power. The power of love is in everything. That's what everything comes from. We exist in nothing but love. It just doesn't seem like that sometimes, but it is all love. And this love is infinite potential. And when we remember that we are from love, that our power is from love, that this power is within us, that we know this on other levels, on other aspects and other dimensions of ourself, we remember our power. We know that we are created from this infinite oneness of complete love. And that is a very, very powerful thing to remember. A big thing they want us to know right now, and a big thing that we are being taught with what's going on in the world, is reclaiming our sovereignty, finding our freedom. And what does that mean to each and every one of us? Because it's going to be different for everyone. Just like everybody has their own perspective, their own belief system. What freedom means to you, what personal sovereignty means to you, is individual to you. And these are the choices that we are making in the world right now. And I'll tell you one thing that's being reiterated over and over is that we're already in the new earth. It's necessary for things to be broken down so things can be created anew in this new earth. And we're already here. And the more we recognize that, the more we remember it, we remember our connectedness to it, the more we live in it, the more we are it. And our higher selves really want us to remember how powerful we are right now, and that it's our decision and our choice how our life goes. Our freedom, our sovereignty is up to us. And so lately, a lot of my sessions have been, they're not showing people necessarily past lives or simple past lives anyway. People are going straight back to source, to other planets, other dimensions, to Lemuria. We went to Lemuria today. That was pretty fun. And what's fun about Lemuria is the people there just, shape shifting and time traveling was just part of daily life. It's what they did. They knew how to work with energy. And when this energy was coming, they could feel it. And they knew that they didn't have very much time left. And they knew how to just go through the portal and go somewhere else. They made that decision. They had the power. They were aware of their power. And so this is why these themes have been coming up a lot lately, is to remind us how immensely powerful we are. We've known this for millennia, and it has been forgotten and veiled from us. And it's time for us to reclaim that. And within that, we reclaim our freedom and our sovereignty always. When we remember just how great and powerful we are, that we are part of this oneness, this immense creation, there is no stopping you. There is nothing you can't do. There is nothing you can't manifest. You realize it's all energy, and you can do with it whatever you want. It's pliable. You think it, you create it. It really is and can be very, very, very simple. It's a matter of reclaiming our power, remembering who we are, using our minds, our will to make these decisions, because we have that power. And when we do all of this from our heart center, you gotta believe that the entire universe has your back. When you are working within the energy that is all there is, of course, you're just gonna flow with it all. That is just simple physics, isn't it? When you are going with the flow, it's just gonna flow. It's so, so simple. So stay in your heart center. Remember, this is where all of our power comes from. Remember that you are one with all that there is. We live in a hologram that is teaching us the beauty of ourselves every day. Every day we are shown reflections of who we are and how we can grow and what we need to learn. And if we pay attention to it, we can learn really, really quickly. But I'll tell you what, so many of us are not paying attention. And it's not even really that we're not paying attention, but we're negating what we're hearing or seeing or feeling. We're, in essence, lying to ourselves. We're feeling a feeling, and then we're telling ourselves, no, that's okay. This is where we have to start paying attention. Paying attention to how we feel. Paying attention to those random little thoughts that come up when you're thinking about a process or a lesson or something about yourself. And you have this random thought. Pay attention to that thought. That is your higher self giving you a message, a sign, a symbol, something for you to understand the big picture, how it all fits together. They're constantly, when I say it like that, it's so funny because that's the way they say it when I ask them, How do you talk to them? Constantly. Everybody, constantly. They are constantly talking to us. We are just not either recognizing it, paying attention to it, or not listening to it, or negating it, disbelieving it. Whatever it is, we are not listening or paying attention to the ultimate message that they're trying to get across. And so when we're not paying attention in daily life, well, then it's going to come in dreams. And if we're not listening to our dreams, then maybe they'll come in recurring dreams. And then maybe it's nightmares. And then if we're not listening then it's going to either hit the body or it's going to come into physical existence. And so start paying more attention. They're always talking. They're always showing us. They're always trying to help us see. And one of the biggest ways, if we're not understanding, we're not seeing, is just to ask for help. If you ask for help, it's like the biggest and greatest thing you can possibly do, because they really can't help you directly until you ask them. If you want to ask specific questions, you will get specific answers. But the question determines the answer. And so when you can be specific, you can get more specific. And they will work with you if you work with them. Remember to ask for help. Always there. Always communicating with you. And it's just more tricky and symbolic when you're not asking. They have to do it that way. Otherwise, it's an infringement upon our free will. We have to make our own choices, our own decisions. We got to get into a pit or fall into a hole if that's what we decide that we're going to do. They have to let us. That's the way we learn, right? I learned the hard way, for sure. It's a really great way to learn. It's a hard way, but it's a great way. And so they know this, so they let us do it. But we don't have to do it that way. If we listen, if we really give it some good attention, examination, and ultimately get to a place of understanding. And once we understand, then the lesson doesn't need to be given anymore. And it doesn't come into your physical reality or to your physical body anymore. It's that simple. We're all just here learning. We're all just walking each other home. So remember your connections. Remember that you are one with it all. Remember your power. Remember that you are free. You are born this way. It is your birthright. Sovereignty is your birthright. And I'll tell you what, you guys, the biggest thing, and I'm saving it for last, the biggest advice that the higher self gives is, can you guess? If you know me at all, what am I going to say? Meditation. The higher self is constantly telling people to meditate. And they're constantly telling people how important it is. So if you're not meditating yet, start that practice. This whole thing is a whole lot easier when we meditate. Listening is easier. Remembering is easier. All of it is easier. Getting out of our own way is easier. Meditation is such a beautiful tool. So utilize it if you're not yet. And you will remember who you are and your connectedness and your power and your sovereignty. I love you all so much. I'm going to leave you with a song for today. And here's what's great, you guys. So I just paused my recording so I could pick a song because I forgot to do that before I started recording. And so I just asked, what song should I play? And immediately in my head, I started hearing the song. And so here's the song that Higher Self wants to hear you all to hear today. It's Ziggy Marley, High on Life. Until next time, I love you all so much.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
Giving me the positivity. Yes, I'm ion light, focusing on the dream like a laser beam. I got to be ion light, already planted the seeds, now we water the trees. You know I'm ion light, you can't bring me down, you can't bring me down, you can't bring me down. Some people think this war is physical, yet it's mental and spiritual. To know the truth, you got to know the lies. No, I won't be demoralized. Yes, I know the sun will rise. Cause I'm iron light, and you're for giving me the positivity. I'm gonna be iron light, focusing on the dream like a laser beam. Come on, get iron light, already planted the seeds, now we water the trees. So let's get iron light, you can't bring me down, you can't to drive us crazy. Keep your head up, we're survivors, baby. And in the darkness, I will be your light. So tell the cynics and their jealousy, we're bringing visions to reality. Cause we're iron light, thank you for giving me the positivity. Yes, we're iron light, focusing on the dream like a laser beam. Gonna be iron light, already planted the seeds, now we water the trees. So come let me ease up your tension. Are you ready for the good vibration? Let's get high on life. Thank you for giving me the positivity. I'm gonna be high on life, focusing on the dream like a laser beam. You see, I'm high on life, already planted the seeds, now we water the trees. I got to be high on life, you can't bring me down, you can't bring me down, you can't bring me down. Let's get high on life, thank you for giving me the positivity. You know I'm high on life, focusing on the dream like a laser beam. You gotta get